Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Antlers going up against...
Well, Larry, there's a new stadium set to open in Inglewood in 2019, but for now, we're in the heart of the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Dublin Antlers and the Los Angeles Rams. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Rams are going to get a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Offense still needing 10 yards, second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Uses the stiff arm. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touch. Offense to take over for the first time. And led out by their veteran quarterback. He's been around a while. They don't celebrate birthdays for him. They just cut him up, see how many rings he's got around the middle. He has been in the league a long time. They come up in an offset eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. Shreds the tackle. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. No gain, and it's second down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They're going to look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the tailback.
Like an egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with 2 hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
It goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down, and the ball flips end over end slow.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn
it
over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now you got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game was we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Here's the option going right. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Holding offense.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at about the 14. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now, if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case,
well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here comes the defense heading back out here on the road. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense and said, all right, appreciate it, guys. And they took the ball downfield and stuck it in the end zone.
And that defense wasn't out there long. They'll be trying to keep it short here.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Offense.
A long way to go here for the offense on 3rd down after the penalty. 3rd and 15. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Surveying the field. Great protection. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 24 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. So he makes the grab and the change move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be met at about the 43. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got time. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
They come up in an offset eye.
Detroit! All right, here we go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that run wasn't very successful. They did have a big one on the previous play. So you get the sense that the offense is probing around, trying to find the ones that are going to work. And when they find them, they'll keep coming back to them.
Back to throw. He's going to walk. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Brief break in the action here. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of his first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They'll look to throw now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left sideline, incomplete. 3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
That is right. 3 down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll set up a throw. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed. Yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Here we go. Green, gun.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go. Green. Detroit. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot. Back 99, Philly. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And this offense is running away with this one. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just 1 shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will be brought. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Remember how much we enjoyed watching him last week?
It's the same thing this week. Look at those numbers.
I'd hate to be a defender right now because no matter what they're throwing at him in terms of coverages, he's finding ways to defeat it. And even when he's covered, he's not covered. Hey, what is he doing? What's that term they use? He's uncovering and making big catches. Really fun to watch. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll set up to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns, running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down. Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up the first down.
He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's...
And it's complete. He's got it. End zone touchdown Rams. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There's so much...
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he's going to go out of bounds on the return. He won't even get this thing back to the 10-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And all the way in from a touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And this offense is running away with this one. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try.
Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Here comes the Rams punter now as they're forced to kick for the sixth time today.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now back out comes the offense. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time.
But an offset eye. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough touch.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up fourth down now. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down. And the Rams getting set to go now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams do gain a bit of respectability.
That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
My old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
And it looks like this one won't work out. Hands team able to secure the football. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he cuts it out to the sideline. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on here to punt it away.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Rams defense heading back onto the field. And maybe for them at this stage, it's sort of put up or shut up time. They need to stop trailing here.
Oh, I'm with you totally on that one. They've got to go out there now and put an end to what's been going on in this ball game where they've just given up points, got pushed around, so to speak, during this contest. They've got to find a way to end it right here, right now.
Can they end it? Let's find out. Now they'll run it on the toss. They find some open field here. Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No,
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Rams defense getting ready to go again. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others. I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He'll look to throw. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Slam route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. 18 yards on the pickup there. And that'll set him up now 1st and goal.
Into the 4th quarter now. The offense has got to feel like they've imposed their will and kind of taken the life out of the defense. And you can see it from the perspective of the guy carrying the football. Those holes have to look huge, similar to a great hitter. Seeing a ball come into the plate.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Now they'll run it on the toss. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got time in the pocket. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's taken down deep in their territory. A huge play that time for the Rams. 45 yards. They're going to hurry back to the line now. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Surveying the field. All kinds of time. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not.